This is a production of Speed Sport, America's motorsports authority since 1934.
I am a kid that loves racing and race cars from Nova Scotia, Canada, that realized early on if I was going to make a living at it, living in an area that only had a 4-month-long race season, wasn't going to work. I had to do something different, so I moved here. We build super late model chassis, we build pro late model chassis, we build road race chassis, asphalt type modified, like IMCA type modified chassis. And we manufacture all of our own parts. We build cars and build parts and try to service our customers best we can.
I'm Tom Buzzy and we're here at Buzzy Racing. On our NASCAR level, we do a lot of rental stuff. We rent transmissions, rear ends for your Xfinity cars, trucks, ARCA, K&N. We build new 9-inch housings from scratch, whatever the team wants. When they get in the fence, we straighten them, put them back to the number they want. Do the short track stuff as well, but we do them the same exact way. Their race car just important to us as something running around at Daytona or Charlotte.
Racing is always changing. It's innovative.
Racing's always changing. It never stops.
Building better mousetraps and lighter race cars and faster race cars and cooler products.
As long as we can stay with the times and keep changing with them, hopefully with that it keeps us out front, leading the way with the drivetrain stuff.
I wake up every day and I make a living at my hobby, and I'm surrounded by great people. I'm Gary Crook.
I'm Tom Buzzy, and I am PRI.
Hi everybody, welcome to the PRI Road Tour Highlight Show from the Speed Sport Studios here in Mooresville, North Carolina. I'm your host, Ralph Shaheen. If you've been watching our previous episodes, you know there's a dedicated PRI Road Tour crew out crisscrossing the country right now, gathering up great content as they visit and talk with racers, parts manufacturers, and race teams across the land. And here from Speed Sport, we put it all together in a highlighted show for you. Today we're going to kick off this episode with a group of racers right here in Race City, USA, known as Mooresville, North Carolina. And they are Port City race cars, and they're always thinking of the budget-minded racer.
I am a kid that loves racing and race cars from Nova Scotia, Canada, that realized early on if I was going to make a living at it, living in an area that only had a 4-month-long race season, wasn't going to work. I had to do something different, so I moved here. That would be 26 years ago now, and I'm blessed that I wake up every day and make a living at what would have been my hobby to begin with. My family owned a machine shop. My dad was heavily involved in racing, building cars when I was a kid growing up, and that's where my passion came from. As a machinist for my dad, I could stand in front of the lathe or a mill and bust out 100, 200, 300 pieces, but it was always the same thing. Racing is always changing. It's innovative. It's building better mousetraps and lighter race cars and faster race cars and cooler products. It's the ever-evolving challenge of being better. We build super late model chassis, we build pro late model chassis, we build road race chassis, asphalt type modified, like IMCA type modified chassis. We manufacture all of our own parts. We're blessed with a lot of great customers that support us, whether it's buying cars or buying parts, or that's it. We build cars and build parts and try to service our customers best we can. From a car build, it really starts on the phone with our salesman. They'll do a quote and work back and forth with the customer, and when they come to an agreement, that gets sent to me of what all the particulars are, and I'll create purchase orders of what we might need for steel in the rack. We have different stations where we build the chassis to where we put interior and the bodies on them, and then move it to another station to assemble it, and then it'll roll over into this area and get set up, and the customer will pick it up. It's a long process, but we've got it honed down quite a bit to being very efficient. One of the things that stood out when we first turned the keys on to start it as the new owners was the amount of customers that were out there that you didn't know about racing at tracks you almost never heard about. We're aware of the big names that run the big name events, you know. For the most part, it's the same group of people that run the Winchester 400 or the All-American 400 or the Snowball Derby. But what was amazing to us, or caught us by surprise, was the amount of customers that Port City had that ran at racetracks that people didn't pay attention to, or you never heard of that much, or didn't have marquee events that drew the attention. For our business and all short track racing, there's a lot of racers out there that work a full-time job, and it's their hobby to go out in the garage behind the house with their buddies and work on the race car and go to the track on Saturday. And that's how we all grew up. Everybody that's in this industry that I love, that supports all of us, that Saturday night grassroots sports. You know, the fan base there is great. You know, you can go to a lot of Saturday night short track races, and it's encouraging, yeah. We're building something that people can plan their lives around. People can plan mortgages for houses and plan vacations with their families. And it's not anything I ever went out looking for. It's not anything that I started out in business to try to achieve. But when you saw that, when those moments happened for people and there was security that they didn't, you know, in the racing industry here, every November, people are worried about jobs. And I take a fair amount of pride in that we've got something that people can count on and plan their lives and build their lives around it. So it's always going to be the performance and the product, but personally, I take that out of it as well. I wake up every day and I make a living at my hobby, and I'm surrounded by great people. I'm Gary Crook, and I am PRI.
Thank you, Gary, for inviting us into your shops and for keeping the budget-minded racer out on the track with high-quality race cars. Now it's time to shift gears, but we're going to stay right here in Mooresville, North Carolina, a family-owned business that's been in operation for over 40 years, and they've been helping racers from the grassroots level all the way up into NASCAR. We're talking about Buzzy Racing. Here's Tom Buzzy to tell you more.
I'm Tom Buzzy, and we're here at Buzzy Racing. We're primarily a drivetrain shop. We do gears, transmissions, you know, 4 9-inches, quick changes, for everything from your NASCAR stuff to your local Saturday night dirt and asphalt. We have a steering division as well. We do, you know, power steering pumps, steering boxes, and racks as well. I guess it started back in the 90s. Dad was he was working for NASCAR teams, and then started a gear business. We did that for a long time. Then we tried to race ourselves, and that didn't work because of money issues, as many other race teams and drivers run into. Then we started doing a gear business again. We honestly never really stopped. We kept doing it even through the years we were racing. And then once that stopped, we started this back up in 2010. And man, it's been pretty amazing since. Just very, very thankful to be doing it. On our NASCAR level, we do a lot of rental stuff. We rent transmissions, rear ends for your Xfinity cars, trucks, ARCA, K&N. We build new 9-inch housings from scratch, whatever the team wants. When they get in the fence, we straighten them, put them back to the number they want. On the steering division, they send in their steering boxes and pumps, and we change from your road course stuff to short track to intermediate, all the different builds that you need. Do the short track stuff as well, but we do them the same exact way. Whatever they want built, their specifications or what the driver or crew chief wants, we treat them no different. Their race car just as important to us as something running around at Daytona or Charlotte. We're around 300 complete third members. We've probably got close to 600 ring opinions, and transmissions, we own probably 35 rental transmissions that are constant rotation throughout the year. We have stuff all across the country with all the different forms of racing we do. It's pretty cool to see your customers run well and win races, do championships. It's very rewarding. It don't matter to us if you win a street stock race or a K&N race, they're all special. Win is winning at any level. Sometimes you get a text message from Victory Lane. A couple weeks ago, I was down in Florence, and one of our customers won, and they come running over, Buzzy, you gotta come with us, get a Victory Lane, and everybody's hugging. That part is just pretty awesome. always changing. It never stops. So as long as we can stay with the times and keep changing with them, that's part I think I feel that we're the best. I know I'm being biased, but we work very closely with our customers. We go to racetracks with them and listen to what they say, and not to mention we relate to them because we race ourselves. I have a tour type modified I run. My son races a quarter midget. We're in the middle of racing every weekend, so hopefully with that it keeps us out front, hopefully leading the way with drivetrain stuff. I tell you what, as a whole, there's a great group of racers coming up. Really good boys and girls. Their future racing looks to be strong because, man, we've seen my brother's kids racing and mine. My youngest son's, he's only 7, but man, every day he's talking about race cars. And he tells me already, Dad, I can't wait to drive your modified. All right, he goes, actually, I can't wait to race against you in the modified. I'm like, dude, when you get older, the seat's yours. We're not doing that. You know, I want to help you do your thing. When you go to the racetrack, it's a little bit of a normalcy for us and our kids. You know, they get to be with their friends, they get to compete. I mean, forget about all the craziness going on in the world, and it's actually like it always has been. So I think for kids, it's actually a really good place to be. You know, they got to work hard to win, and I think that's part of the internet and part of the problem they got. They don't have to work for some of it, so they got to work. If you don't work hard at it, you're not going to win. So I think it's a good lesson there. I'm Tom Buzzy, and I am PRI.
You're absolutely right, Tom. Nothing feels better than accomplishing something you've worked very hard for. As we mentioned, this is a highlight show, so we can't show you everything that our PRI Road Tour crew has been up to, but we can give you a little bit of a taste. So here's a look at their visit to Chevrolet Performance.
Obviously, racing is an extreme environment. Anything that we develop on the track can directly correlate to a better product on the field. We learn very quickly, we go fast. You learn as an engineer how to do things with great speed, with great discipline. The race will go on without you. So if you're not there, guess what? You missed out.
If you'd like to see everything that the Road Tour crew is up to, follow them at the Performance Racing Industry YouTube page or at performanceracing.com. And stay in tune with us here at Speedsport at speedsport.com and Speedsport TV. We do have a little bit more for you as we step aside to give you a little teaser of what the crew is up to out on the road. I'm your host, Ralph Shaheen. I'll see you next week.
My name's David Markley. I'm President and CEO of Design Engineering in Cleveland, Ohio. And we do high performance heat and sound control. Our mission is to control heat and sound wherever it may present itself. It started in the performance world because that's where our roots were. However, it seems to take us in many different directions.
Brent Noward, Marketing Manager, TMG Performance Products, Volant Performance, and the Course Performance brands. What we do here is we produce some of the best exhaust systems and air intakes in the world for the automotive consumer. We've been doing that since 1998 in the automotive category, and we continue to do that here today.